Chris, how was your pee break?
My pee break.
They might flash you.
Random, baby.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me. Quite an intro.
Let's address the elephant in the room. That's not the elephant in the room. There's no elephant. Nobody cares.
I, too, am a thought criminal. Good. Well, I like you already.
Does this look like a girl who's joking around?
No.
Around?
But how much do you actually understand money? Especially the new wave.
Beauty or intelligence? When you unleash both, it is men's kryptonite. Welcome to Talk to Me, Taylor. You guys remember the Scary Movies? Like Scary Movie, the franchise? I loved those movies. And what, though, is perhaps an even scarier movie is how men and women be tripping themselves up these days in power dynamics, how they communicate, how they put themselves, like they pigeonhole themselves and cock block themselves in way. Mostly women, actually, mostly women, which we're going to be talking all about today. But Scary Movie. So coincidentally, I was scrolling, through doom scrolling on the theme of this frightening time, scary indeed. And I saw that this was today, and I saw that iconic scene from the first Scary Movie in which Jenny McCarthy and Pam Anderson are like these hot naked playgirls basically having like a pillow fight in their underwear and a sleepover party, right? And I think it's like the opening scene of the first Scary Movie. And I just thought, wow, like a scene like this would never fly today. They're actually talking about rebooting the Scary Movie franchise. And I'm like, just don't, literally do not, like, not to be on this Halloween theme, but like, do not put it in the grave. Like, just let it be where it is in time. You all already killed it with like Scary Movie 7, 8, 9, 10. Like, just let it be, right? Case in point with something like this. Now, oddly enough, the Wayans brothers all created, the Scary Movie franchise together, which were so genius and so indicative of, like, so epitomized the humor of the time in the 2000s when you could get away with stuff like that and just so politically incorrect. And you cut to now, and there's a viral clip of Marlon Wayans. Now, he was one of the co-writers and the stars of the first Scary Movie, along with his brothers and, the fam. And you cut to now, there's a viral clip of Marlon Wayans in the most awkward. You want to talk about spooky season? You want to talk about true horror? You want to talk about this genre? You need to watch the clip of him and Julia Fox in a junket interview. It is the most cringe, awkward thing. Like, you wish that you were in the hearse of the Scary Movie reboot. Okay, watching this, it is so awkward. And they're promoting this movie and being asked all about masculinity. And Marlon Wayans is kind of giving all of the, how do I say this? I don't know if it's like canned or what he thinks he has to say, but talking points about men that people really want to kind of hear right now, namely like the mainstream, right? Like, but what he says, it's in fairness too. It's fair. He's not wrong. He, what it takes to be a man, being responsible, being, quote, in touch with your feminine side, to what degree that's arguable in my opinion, and unstrapping from one's ego, right? Which is fair. The male ego, y'all. I love you guys. You guys, I love you, but the male ego is, it is a beast of its own. Okay. And it is a presence to be known. So Julia Fox, she's the one, like, she's a little cuckoo. She dated Kanye, like all this stuff, right? And she keeps interjecting and being like, real man, because they're talking about like, what's a real man? And she's like, real men, like, I don't know. It's just so awkward. She keeps interrupting him. She doesn't let him get the thought out, but she's on this like modern wave feminism kick. Like, this is it epitomized right here. Like, real men, they just keep fucking shit up. And I don't know, everyone says real men don't do that, but if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, like saying that they're one and the same and synonymous. Like, real men are just continuing to be fuckboys and all this, and people make excuses for it. So she says, real men, the quote, the saying real men was just invented to, like, it doesn't exist. It was just invented to excuse bad behavior. So she's bulldozing on her feminist rant, okay, over Marlon Wayans, who's just sitting there like, the fuck. And like instilling the fear of God in his eyes, but he's trying to just be like kind of having the rapport and the camaraderie, whatever. And he's dead ass, like deadpan, dead in the eyes staring at her. But then he kind of goes like this and is like, after she says that whole little thing, invented to make up, to excuse bad behavior. He's like, said like a true man, right? It's just totally awkward exchange. But I thought, what a meta moment, because like take Marlon Wayans himself, both maybe it is just a personal evolution, right? And also the evolution of culture. Maybe he did, because of course, like they did play up these tropes back then of girls and women kind of being the like, oh, we're in our underwear and fighting and just hot and ha, making fun of it. You remember that scene with Carmen Electra 2 in Scary Movie where the scream guy knifes her and her silicone tit comes out, like all that kind of stuff, right? Playing up to female tropes. And, so I'm sure he thought like that at the time and all this. So again, like personal evolution, that's cool. Maybe he does think differently now and things like this. And also again, the evolution of culture. So I thought like, what a meta moment that was. And I also, it's funny because on my, what my feed and algorithm says about me, choose your own adventure, you decide for yourself. But I saw a scene, I think it was last night, and don't quote me on this, but I think it was from Road Trip, and Sean William Scott, similarly to the Scary Movie thing, Sean William Scott, one of the other actors, they're going in this sorority to try to find this girl, and every room that they go into, it is like one cheesy trope about women after the next. Like they're all like hot in towels, or they're all like, again, like playing in their underwear, or they're, stuff like that. So like anything, of course, we don't want women to all be depicted as like willy-nilly idiots who are just like, frolic around in their underwear, right? And are just airheads. But at the same time, I feel like with anything, it's a happy balance. It's okay to like play with these tropes. It's like, we don't have to have everybody be, it's fucking scary like Hillary Clinton, or nor do they have to be prancing around in their underwear. Like I feel like with anything, it's a happy balance in life. You know what I mean? But it just goes to show, right, how the pendulum swings. And so that's, I think a little bit both, and maybe that's where I'm going to bring it all in the end. And same thing goes with men. But this entire episode is going to be, this kind of sets the stage and sets the table for how men and women operate in their power and how they communicate, be it on the silver screen or off, So, yeah, so a happy medium, like anything in life, but nobody knows any chill, but a happy balance and medium, it's okay. Like it's okay to play into these tropes. Again, does it need to be all we ever see? No, but going a little too hard, like the Julia Foxes, the Hillary Clintons, that's also a little aggressive. Don't know, the Katie Porters who has us like sleeping with one eye open shit. Again, is that the vibe either? Like, I feel like it's okay. It's okay again to be tongue in cheek, self-aware, and also just be a tough bitch, but all in, happy medium, striking that balance. So this got me thinking about the new Shonda Rhimes interview on Call Her Daddy. And that's the thing too. It's like, I feel like what Alex Cooper's done with Call Her Daddy, it's just become very much this. I love how she started out and Dave Portnoy said it too, like kind of flipping everything on its head, where it was like women having this really raunchy locker room talk that you only heard men have. And sure, maybe it was like the Howard Stern shock jock thing, and she's just a media mastermind who knew like all along, and now she can just do whatever she wants. But it has become this kind of like victimizing women, and women have it hard, and let's sit around and braid each other's hair. And I'm like, women don't have it hard. We're fucking badass and we're killing it. Actually, hence Alex Cooper, who's worth what, a couple $100 million? Like, case in point, like let's celebrate it and how fucking awesome it is, right? But Shonda Rhimes goes on, who, and all this again, take with a grain of salt, because Shonda Rhimes does have more power currently than I, but I'm just going to give my 2 cents. But I never did actually. I don't know if I interviewed Shonda my time in Hollywood. Maybe I did, but nonetheless, she is talking all about navigating her power. And it's kind of, you guys, it's going to be par for the course. It's going to go as expected. In the women have it hard, there's a double standard, yada, yada. Here are some quotes. And I do agree with this quote here. And by the way, if you don't know, like what Shonda Rhimes has built as a Black woman in Hollywood is historic. Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder. It's crazy what she's been able to do. I will not knock that. Serious stripes earned there. And I do agree with this quote. She said, "Power is not power if you don't know you have it." I love that. That actually is so true. I've come to grips with that actually in my own life. And I can attest to that 100%. And in a way, again, I don't know if this is a woman thing or not. Shit, you can say this about a hero's journey, about Luke Skywalker. It's like realizing you even have that power and then harnessing it and using it, right? So sometimes it's a little intimidating and maybe you knock yourself down subconsciously or consciously, but you don't even know you have it. So she says, once I realized that, I acted like I couldn't be fired because none of this shit would run without me, which actually is facts, right? Which is true. But then here's something she says where I'm just like, ugh, it's just sort of, again, that narrative. Well, this actually is kind of true too. She says men brag and women hide. And she goes on to say that, like, while it's a little, I do agree with this. Basically, she's saying, like, men will brag over the most mediocre, like, non-accomplishments and think it's the best, hence the male ego, guys. You know, I love you, but it is a thing. And I just do find it amusing. Although I've gotten myself being a spitfire myself in real life, I've gotten myself in quite some pickles with men and their egos, particularly in this last year. It has been a big learning lesson for me because I too have an ego. What's up, Pyramid 7? I'm not gonna lie about that. I have an ego too, but yes. Navigating the male ego. You want to talk about the hero's journey? That is one right there. And I am living proof of that, of how I have let my thoughts be known to them, and it did not go over so well. Maybe I will detail more at a later time. But she says women hide. She said, I feel like women are taught to hate themselves. You know, yes, and I don't know, that's a little aggressive. I feel like that could go actually on both sides. But we're gonna, even not to make it a political thing, but kind of yes. Like there is an internalized misogyny happening on both sides. Like conservatives demoralize women who sexualize themselves as if they're like sex objects and immoral and degraded and all this, whereas leftist women do a version of the same thing, like hence why they're mad at Taylor Swift for not being a cat lady, or like for actually being happy and like not being miserable and not shaving their armpits. Like it's all just bizarre. So in that way, like kind of yes, they're like Goldilocks. It's like there's no making them happy. Pyramid 7, we're talking all about men and women and power dynamics tonight and how they communicate. So lucky you, TJIF. Okay, so then she says, then she gets into the thing, right, of how society has all these rules of how women have to behave. You know this by now, right? We can all say it in our sleep. We've heard it a million times. Like the whole thing of like, just be quiet and smile. Be nicer, be quieter, da-da-da. Who does she think she is? You know, so this to me is where I feel like it's just a little old school. I'm not going to lie. I feel like it's that old school mindset that doesn't really apply now. I, as a, very feminine, but like tough bitch, don't cross me. I can appreciate that thing. I can appreciate it when I see it. I'm like, oh my God, fuck yeah, she is that bitch, right? And I've had people, luckily, and I'm very thankful, say that to me as well. They're men and women. They're not like, who does she think she is? Like when you're in your power, they're like, fuck yeah, can you help? Like it's infectious, it's contagious. I know being on the other end, I'm like, oh my God, I want some of that, right? So I feel like the whole judgmental thing from men and women of like, who does she think she is? It's just a little dated and old school. Now, this is what's super dated from what Shonda Rhimes says. She's like, be a bitch, right? And I'm like, Shonda, no. Like this is where, again, women trip themselves up and where it has gone awry and these bitches have gone astray. I mean, look at Katie Porter. Like it doesn't work. And I get it. The whole like be a bitch thing is to reclaim all of these years of women not being able to act the same as men. But I think what I'm getting to in the end as well is like, we don't have to. Like, it doesn't serve us. It doesn't serve us when men are out here acting like women and vice versa. And it is my pet peeve when women in the workplace try to act like men and they're just straight up dicks. And that's not like a double standard thing. That's for anybody. That could be a man or a woman. Like when you're an asshole, you're an asshole. When you're a dick, you're a dick. Like that's a Grey's Anatomy right there. You want to talk about anatomy? Assholes and dicks. And that shit does not discriminate. when it comes to gender. It's like you are one or you're not. And that's why the Katie Porter thing, I saw a panel on MSNBC debating, like, is it a double standard? It's like she literally reamed this person out and ripped them a new asshole for being in her shot. I personally am petrified. This is the kind of person who is a goddamn nightmare to work for. And I've experienced it, especially in media. I have had more male bosses, mentors who had my back, who believed in me, who gave me opportunities. And no, not a casting couch moment, bitch. Whereas women, particularly women my age, I noticed, again, they try to compensate and be like men. And they're super just short and just it makes you look insecure. Like, it's not strength, it's actually a weakness. And I think that they think it makes them stronger. So the whole, be a bitch thing, it literally again, it does not work. It doesn't work. And I don't like that is the narrative that's peddled all the time, especially out of Hollywood. It's like, be a bitch. We've seen men be, a type of way forever. So it's time to reclaim our throne and the jibber jabber, blah, blah, blah. No, it doesn't work. Again, a guy can equally be a dick. And there's a line, which I'm going to get to too, where it's like, okay, being assertive and then just being aggressive and being too much. Right. So that's my little Shonda sitch. But again, like I said, going into it, take that as you will, because Shonda Rhimes has a lot more strings to pull and is worth a fuck ton more than I am at the moment. So, you want to take her advice from, I think mine, from my little studio setup here in Nashville, and not from, the high and mighty castles of Hollywood. But, that's your discernment. That's your choice. Choose your own adventure, will of the people. So this is fascinating too. And I'm living for this story. Barry Weiss, the founder of the Free Press. And if you are literally living in Osama bin Laden's neglected cave, you don't know, she created the Free Press. She was a Wall Street Journal reporter. She was the opinion editor at the New York Times. And in the height of, I believe it was in 2020 in cancel culture, she wrote a resignation letter to the New York Times that went viral because she basically just called out how biased it was, right? And everybody within the organization, and how, like, this is not journalism. Like, look it up, sweetie. And I love what the Free Press does. I just love it. I've shamelessly pitched myself to the Free Press. Like, if any of you are out there and hear me, blink twice, okay? You just let me know. I love it. I love what they do. Because it really is. It started off as common sense, and they do these really great debates on all kinds of issues. The first one, actually, funny enough, was about the sexual revolution. Did it hurt or help us? And on all this. So they are doing the Lord's work out there. But it's also hilarious how the media can't, like, they will literally start foaming at the mouth at anybody who is not their Hitler militant to their narrative. So even when you see the Free Press or Barry Weiss written about, it's always like conservative leaning, conservative this. And it's like, since when? Like, she's literally this out lesbian who calls out conservative. Like, it's just, that's how, just whatever, in their quite literal Nazi camp that they are about it. But CBS just acquired the Free Press, and Barry is now the editor-in-chief, and she is straight in there doging their ass. And I love it. I love to see it. And it's also interesting. Like, I had mixed feelings about this, I'm not gonna lie, because it's all, again, this cyclical thing of, conglomerates and kind of going back to legacy media what she did was like such a renegade. It started as a Substack and now has millions of subscribers. And I love that it's like anti-establishment and independent. And now being acquired by CBS, I'm sort of like, oh, like, is it just, again, like, it just retreats back into what it always was? And is it gonna some way, shape? I saw feedback saying this too. Like, is it truly going to be independent, or someone somewhere over this dysfunctional rainbow still going to have their say on what does or doesn't fly, right? I hope not. I think Barry Weiss is smart enough to, like, do her thing, hence doging this shit. But, you never know. Like, that's why I left. I wanted no part of that. That's why I left the corporations and the big media business, because there's always somebody playing puppet master. And having their way, hence, like, why they're literally also deranged right now, the majority of what we see. So she is doging them, and she sent like a memo to the staff at CBS, basically saying, this is how I want to get to know you guys better and see what is going on here. What is working? What are your opinions of what's going on here at the company? What is broken? What are your duties? What do you do? What are some accomplishments in your last week, right? Just so I can really get acclimated. I love this, like, boss bitch move. Absolutely. And I love when Elon doged the fuck out of the people working for the federal government too. He's like, but here's the difference, right, between men and women. He straight up was like, and again, these are people working for the government, but he's like, if you don't respond in 24 hours, I will take that as your resignation notice. Like, thank you very much, right? So that is where it is interesting, and where guys and men do take their dicks out, because I couldn't see Barry Weiss being like, all right, you have 24 hours. But granted, Elon Musk is so much more powerful than Barry Weiss. But of course, because, God forbid there's transparency in any organization whatsoever, or the fucking world will implode. The Writers Guild of America sent a letter to the staff at CBS being like, we highly advise you not to answer this. What is it regarding? Is it going to be layoffs? Is it going to be this? And it's like, bitch, if somebody can't describe what is going on in their company and what they do, like, what is the purpose? What is this, the parade of the interns? Like, I don't think so. Like, what is it? They should be able to do these basic things. What is this? So I absolutely love that she did this, and, let's see what happens. But Barry, my only request is, don't fuck with my Jane Pauley and my CBS Sunday Morning. You guys know, like, I get off to that stuff. It is just my naughty guilty pleasure. What can I say? I absolutely live for that geriatric shit. It's my favorite thing ever. So yeah, so we will see what happens. So, I get it. And I talked in one of my recent episodes about, like, if you can't beat them, join them. And that's why when I did feel torn about the Free Press being acquired by such a huge trad media establishment, I was like, is this sticking it to the man? But is it that thing where it's like, actually, and this is kind of what she says, more power, more eyeballs. And funny enough, in my episode yesterday, I talked about, when you want to counter something, do something about it, walk the walk, put action into it. And it's like, we can bitch and moan all day about how the mainstream media is shit. And she's going in being like, you know what, actually, I'm now the editor-in-chief, and now my organization and we're running the show. So it's not even if you can't beat them, join them. It's like, actually just beat them. Like, become the top of the food chain, and then just beat it and change it from the head down, right? So I can respect that. I also always, of course, respect the underdog and the anti-establishment kind of rebel spirit of it, but I can respect this too. I get it. It's like, there's only so much bitching and moaning that we can do. Like, how about you get in and actually change it? Like, all right. Well, so again, we'll see what happens though. We'll see what happens. I'm watching. That's right. All four eyes are watching over at CBS. So this is where, I do have to say, it's just, like I said, the last couple weeks, months, year even, has been a huge eye-opener for me in how powerful men do operate, and the male ego. Like, there is no, if you so much as like flicker at the male ego, like, again, guys, I love you. And again, this is from like one person with a huge fucking ego to another. I get it. Like, I will literally annihilate you and everyone you ever knew if you come for my ego. Trust me. Like, I look cute and blonde, but I will make you wish that you were deceased. Like the Scary Movie franchise, again, should be at this point. Like, just let it be. But okay, there's a part of me that's also like, why are men like this? Like, men, I love you, but I gotta know, like, I've seen, there's a whole like mansplaining trope and all this. And sometimes, again, it's like the Julia Fox extra feminist effect, where it's like everything a guy ever says is mansplaining. Like, okay, so is everything I ever say, is this right now, this podcast, just a program of womansplaining? Like, that's so dumb. But I have seen the mansplaining trope come to life recently, where it's like these guys just have to literally assert their opinions. It could literally be about the most minuscule thing, explain it as if I'm literally retarded. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, like sitting there like, what is the reason? Like, why? Even it cracks me up, my boyfriend, and you should know this too. He has my back and advocates for my work more than I do. Like, is my biggest cheerleader and biggest fan of, and like, in support of what I do and the goal and the vision. But even he like in our interpersonal conversations and arguments, he will be surprised when I'm right about something. I'm like, the fuck? Like, oh, you were right. It could be something so stupid, like about the remote. And I'm sitting here, ladies, I know that you fucking feel me on this. And they're like shocked. Like, what am I, an idiot? Like, what the fuck was I born yesterday out of a tube like Austin Powers? Like, what are we talking about? And he's always surprised every single time. It cracks me up. He's like, oh, you were right. You were like, it is just this hilarious phenomenon about men. I don't know if it is evolution and historically having to be like taking the reins and being the providers, but like the male phenomenon and need to like insert opinions, explain them as if we're fucking have rocks for brains and are surprised, even if they love you so much, but like are surprised when you're right. Like, I need to know. I need to know the reason for this, guys. Hit me up, please, in the comments and explain for my my thesis here. And I do want to say though, going off of that, and this is kind of like wrap us up tonight, is that it's also okay. Like when I'm getting mansplained as if I didn't already run circles around them in my head times 7, or if they're explaining, like breaking down an argument or logic or reasoning, and in my head, I'm just like, this is so ass backwards 7 ways from Sunday. I think where women trip themselves up is by, and again, I understand this because I have done it. I have blown like $30,000 business deals over not being able to hang and bite my tongue and do this because I had to be like, what the fuck did you just say? Excuse me, what? So I've learned the hard way. I get it. But and this isn't to say that women should be doormats or subservient. Hello, look who you're talking to, right? Like over my dead body. But I do think there's something to be said about just letting guys like taking it for what it is and letting them do their thing. Like it's okay. Even in your head, if you're kind of calculating or you're correcting or you make them think it's their idea, like, okay, sweetie, okay, I think that that's okay too. I feel like that's almost like the old wives' tale. I feel like that's even advice that my grandmother, who's passed now, but married for 60 years, like off of the boat Italian would say, it's sort of like just nod and inside of your head, do what you will do and literally correct them 7 ways from Sunday and just let them think it's their idea and let them think it's right. Like it's sort of like picking your battles and kind of taking it for what it is. Like, you know what I mean? And kind of just being like, oh, okay, sweetie. Okay. You think that. And so again, this is where women go so extra because it's like we're at a point now with the overcorrecting and like asserting themselves over men in a way that I don't think is necessary. We'll explain. We'll get to that. To where we can't even enjoy, like our ears can't even just do their thing and we can't even enjoy new pop music. I'm talking everything from like we're literally being perpetually gaslit because everything is not right or oppression or like it's fucking wild. Even Sabrina Carpenter, her new album, Man's Best Friend. I listen. And again, I'm not a crazy super fan of Sabrina Carpenter or Taylor Swift. I'm just listening as a normal person who enjoys good things, entertainment. Sue me. Yeah, I know. I don't know how I got this lobotomy to make me this way, but here I am. So I'm listening to them fresh. I really loved Man's Best Friend, but of course, nope, you can't like that because she is on the cover looking like a dog. Again, no satire taken into mind, right? Talk about rocks for brains, these people. But she's just being an object and subservient and all this and da-da-da. We can't like this. This is not feminine. This is not forward for women, coming from both sides. Okay. Then you have the new Taylor Swift album where her fans, because now she's singing about like being in a happy relationship and wanting to have kids and all this, they're like up in arms again, gaslighting you. I'm like, wait, should I not have like this? Like, what the fuck? Do I need to clean my ears? Like, do I need to pull a Van Gogh, cut it up, pull them back on? Like, what are we talking about? I thought it was pretty good. I don't know. I'm no Swiftie, but it's all right. But no, she's not this miserable cat lady. Now she's bought into the conservative trad wife, this, that. I'm just like the mental gymnastics that these people do. And why? It's to assert power. And this is where, again, they lose the plot. I don't feel like I know, but earning respect, right? Again, men and women, we are different entities. And I feel like it's okay for us to assert power and earn our respect in different ways. And again, with either camp, too far is too far. Like I said in the beginning, you don't need middle school sex ed PE to know an asshole is an asshole and a dick is a dick, right? So women can and should be, seductive and feminine and intoxicating and still be grounded in beliefs and a tough bitch and powerful and strong, right? Men, same thing. And it's okay. We don't have to be like this, guys. We all know men, it's a different breed because we want men to be strong and assertive and knowing. If there's a guy who's like a pussy, then you're like, you're a pussy. Like that doesn't translate the same. Now, just like women, just being a psychopath like Katie Porter, you can also be an Andrew Tate, who's just like on the other end of it's crazy. On the other end of almost like misplaced aggression and anger and actually making women subservient, right? Or being like too aggressive. I'm not even saying someone as far as an Andrew Tate, but that's the other thing too, of like just being an asshole, like a Harvey Weinstein was, or how everyone said he was, again, contrary to Candace Owens, who's like giving him hand jobs on the phone through in prison, but whatever. So all of that to say is what really taking inventory of what makes men and women strong and weak and respective power that the other knows that they don't have. Like women, ladies, our power in our femininity, men know that they can have that and they don't have that. And it's okay to use that. Guys, you too have a power. The Elon Doge, like, take your dicks out. But again, when it gets too far, it's too far. But having that assertive, tough power that women appreciate, and either party and the opposite party, when they see it, they will get in line. They will follow suit when said power is, exuberated out. So for the ladies out there, I feel, who captures this balance perfectly is like the Angelina Jolie and Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So it's like in a world of Katie Porters, be a Mrs. Smith, do you want to cross that bitch? I don't think so. I'm just saying. And the Brad Pitt and that, guys, the Brad Pitt and that, if you want to channel him too, I'm just saying, you're striking that balance again of male power. I'm not going to be mad at that. I will not. I'll let it slide just this time. All right, you guys, that is it for me tonight. Ladies, men, do your thing. But just when it goes a little too hard, it goes a little too hard. It's the science. What can I say? I will be on a little later tonight, hosting the nightly recap with Hotep Jesus. And as for that, that's it. I will see you on Monday. All right. Good night. Chris, how was your pee break?
My pee break.
It might flash you on TikTok.
Random baby.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Quite an intro.
Let's address the elephant in the room. That's not the elephant in the room. There's no elephant. Nobody cares.
And I too am a thought criminal. Good. Well, I like you already.
Does this look like a girl who's joking around?
No.
But how much do you actually understand money? Especially the new wave.
Beauty or intelligence? When you unleash both, it is men's kryptonite. Welcome to Talk to Me,